So, hello class, and welcome to this installment of video lecture, which is on the art of critical response. And in this lecture, I want to tell you how critical response is important to you as a critical thinker and an academic writer, and explain exactly how it is different from other types of academic writing. So, the main point, the essential way that response writing differs from any other kind of writing is that it is subjective. So subjective means that it's something that is true for you, but not necessarily true for all people. So since we all hold our own values, our own beliefs, and we've all had different experiences from one another, we're all going to have a very different perspective from one another. And this is the point of the critical analysis. So in this case, you can say, I think, or in my opinion, or in my experience, whereas in other academic writing, you probably couldn't, because you would have to remain very objective. You would have to present it as a universal truth, something that anyone could come along and find in that text, a shared truth. So response writing is essentially responding to what is on the page and taking it a step further. So rather than taking for granted evidence that the author provides, you as a reader are questioning that, and you're balancing it against what you personally have experienced or what you personally believe and value. So for example, let's say that you're reading an article about medical ethics that discusses the use of computers to make decisions that were traditionally made by doctors. You personally might feel that it's more efficient to use computers and that technology is a good thing for humanity and should be used more often, maybe because you've had positive experiences with computers. Or maybe you are a very logical person, and so when you read the article, the appeal to logic that the author has made really appeals to you. So you say, well, yes, of course, this is very logical. Now, on the other hand, let's say that you don't feel that computers should be used, that you feel as though medicine should be a very personal and humanized experience, that it should be something that has a lot of sympathy to it, or that has a certain bedside manner when dealing with patients, and that maybe technology is cold and doesn't quite live up to the standard that healthcare professionals have themselves as human beings. And so in that case, you would say, well, maybe in the past I've had very bad experiences with technology, or maybe I feel like technology is very isolating and that it's failed for me before, and so therefore I believe that people are the ultimate technology and that they should be the ones, that doctors should be the ones making decisions based on their experiences, not a set of probabilities. And so that's really the difference, because when you look at something objectively as opposed to subjectively, then you weigh each side equally and you provide some sort of consideration for each side. But when you're being subjective, then this is the opposite. You're saying, this is what I think, this is what is true for me. So it's definitely more than what is written, and it's definitely looking at something that an author has said and reacting to it. You're responding to it, but you're responding to it in a critical way. So it's more than just understanding what you've read. When you read a summary, it's very objective. There should be no opinions in a summary, because anybody could go back and read that article and say, yes, I understood the same key points, the same main ideas that the person who wrote this summary did. But with a response, specifically a critical response, you're applying that understanding. You're evaluating how the author made their argument and how you feel about that argument, and you're applying your experiences to the text, which is different from any other academic writing that you'll ever do. So response writing is important in understanding how things make sense to you and how you value certain things within a text. For those of you who are going into human services, this is going to be very helpful for you. because you will have to write a ton of journals based on your experiences. Even for those of you who are going into nursing, you'll have to write journals based on your clinicals and explain how you think you dealt with the stress of clinicals, of working in that environment. And I think that this is something that is important for anyone who wants to meaningfully reflect on any information that they have read. So that is how response writing is different from other academic writing, and that is how you personally do it.